Sorry, guys. Scheiße. Oh, nee, he's on a Kacke.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Vettel's radio message when he crashed out of today's 2018 German Grand Prix at Hockenheim. Yes, this is the crystal score. What a dramatic Grand Prix. I can't believe... I'm still trying to come to terms with what happened. But let's go through from first to last, starting off with the new championship leader and the miraculous raceman himself, Lewis Hamilton, who started down in 14th after that calamitous qualifying where his suspension or something broke in his car. Unbelievable performance. Yes, I know it was no big deal for him to go through the traffic today early on in the race, but the fact of the matter is, when he got up to 5th place, I mean, he was at least almost 15 seconds behind Vettel by that point. That is remarkable. And you have to say this, but the way Lewis Hamilton looked after the tyres today, in particular in regards to the softs and the ultras, utterly remarkable. And yes, I know we got a bit of help with team orders towards the end, and of course he did have that dodgy moment where he tried to go into the pits, but then drove away from it. But you got to give it to him. Utterly, the composure he showed under pressure was unbelievable. And Bottas, for me, gets 10 points as well. Very unlucky, but he was called into the pits to do another pit stop. But it did get him ahead of Raikkonen, who for me also gets 10 points. Yes, I know he was struggling earlier on, and he was forced to go onto soft tyres on lap 15. But the fact that, but the thing is though, it was Ferrari's fault for hesitating with the team order to make him move over. I mean, that's the team's fault. I mean, Joe Clear was just sort of mumbling like, Kimi, you're slower than Vettel. And Kimi was like, what do you want me to do? Do you just want me to move over? I mean, Kimi had to ask his team whether he had to move over. I mean, what's going on there, Ferrari? And, of course, I also have to say, get well soon to Sergio Macchione, the chairman of the Ferrari company at the moment. He is seriously ill. He's not recovering. And, I know people have had plenty of things to say about him in the past few years, but at this moment in time, he needs our best wishes. And for me, Kimi, of course, he had his second stop botched by Ferrari, who for some reason seemed to be almost crying on the pit wall when Vettel Vettel went off the road and crashed and completely bottled it. And yes, well, to be fair, by hesitating to pit Raikkonen, I mean, essentially Ferrari were wasting their time, and by doing that, they were burnt. Vettel's tyres got burnt up being stuck behind Raikkonen, and to be quite frankly honest, why on earth Ferrari decided to pit Raikkonen so early, which, I mean, to be fair, there was a tad suspicion of them trying to use Kimi as a roadblock against Lewis Hamilton again, which, of course, as we all know, didn't work, because why on earth would it work? I don't know why. I mean, it didn't work in China. I mean, it definitely wasn't going to work today in Germany, and let's face it, this Ferrari team is very much a one-car team, but they're only focused on what the hell Vettel is doing, and once he was out, they completely forgot to refocus and get Raikkonen and sit there and think about trying to get Raikkonen at least second place, because, of course, he had to go around the pits one more time, meaning that he dropped behind Bottas, and, he really had no chance of the restart, if I'm going to be frankly honest. And, Bottas challenged Hamilton down the hairpin, but of course the team were not having. The Mercedes team themselves decided to impose team orders on their own drivers, deciding no, we've got 43 points up for grab. Ferrari have completely messed up today. We've got to take advantage. Job done, lads. Thank you, Bottas. I'm sorry. Blah 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 blah. And then, of course, we get on to Max Verstappen, who, of course, Red Bull for once made a terrible error in pitting him into tyres. But, of course, despite that calamity, he was still able to come out in 5th place once he made an additional pit stop to go back onto back onto Ultrasofts. A bit of a mess, really, if I'm going to be honest, but that wasn't Max's fault. So that's 9 points for him today. And then, of course, next up we've got Nico Hulkenberg, who for me gets 10 points. Really, he's in a second tier car, really. I mean, what the hell else can he do? He's dominating the second tier championship. 8 points goes to Roman Grosjean, who finished a very good 6th place, but for me, he loses 2 points because, you know, he was overtaken earlier on by Perez. He was running behind Magnussen, and if it wasn't for the mix-up around the field, I mean, well, he could have, for me, well, if I'm going to be honest, he was very fortunate to get 6th because his teammate made a mistake going on to the, well, into tyres, and his teammate just seemed to, well, completely mess up. And to be honest, actually, you know what, I'm going to give Grosjean 9 points because it was actually quite a good performance. The 2 Force India drivers who finished 7th and 8th for me will get 8 points each. Perez had that crazy spin. I don't know how on earth he covered, but of course it was saved by the fact that Force India were wise enough not to put them onto to make a panic pit stop, to put them on wet tyres like a lot of teams around the field. And then of course in 9th place is Marcus Ericsson, who gambled on not going on wets, and it worked perfectly. Everything went right today for Marcus, and for me he gets 10 points. Brilliant composure under pressure. Well, actually no, he didn't really have to pay, so I'm going to give him 9 points. But 9 points will also go to Brendan Hartley for driving a very composed race under pressure. He's been under some serious pressure for his seat at the Toro Rosso team all year, and this is the performance he needed so badly. I'm absolutely over the moon for Brendan. You know, there's been talks of Lando Norris, Dan Ticktum, and I don't know, some random, and even Pascal Wehrlein taking his seat mid-season, but he's putting in some decent performances right now, and I'm very, very happy for him. And now here's the people who didn't score any points. Kevin Magnussen will get 6 points. Not his best race. Yes, he was unlucky to, you know, with that pit caught upon him in Inters, but his teammate Grosjean was also caught upon in Inters, and yet Magnussen finished 5 places behind, so that is a pretty poor performance to say the least. Carlos Sainz will get 6 points. Same story again, and well, oh dear, I mean, Carlos Sainz is really struggling right now, I have to say. He's no longer that hot prospect everyone thought him to be. Stoffel Vandoorne, for me, gets 8 points. Okay, I know I'm probably being a bit generous, but he did do a very solid job in a race, considering the fact the car, well, apparently he has less downforce on his own specification of chassis compared to teammate Alonso. Pierre Gasly, who finished down in 14th place, will get 7 points. Daft decision for the team to put him on full wet tyres. Paid the price, and he finished a lap down, but really, I mean, it's just bad luck, really, isn't it? But I think before then, he was on course to get top 10, so I will give him 7 points. The future Ferrari golden boy Charles Leclerc gets 5 points today. Oh dear, a lot of bad mistakes. He had that stupid spin halfway through the race. He went off the road quite a few times, and you know, I think today's race is an example of why the hell he needs at least a second year down at Sauber, or maybe go to Haas for 2019, because I don't think he's ready to deal with the pressure yet. And the last man to finish the race was indeed Fernando Alonso, Senor Alonso, the most arrogant, narcissistic driver on the grid, apart from Lewis Hamilton, of course, had an absolute daymare today. I mean, yes, I know he had to do 4 pit stops, and of course, you know, he did have that stop to go on Inters, but My goodness me, he drove like a complete wally today. He just drove like of course, so much happened I didn't quite know, but quite frankly, considering he's been outpacing Vandal all season and he's been scoring points in his junk heap of a car, I mean, it's a pretty pathetic performance. So it is 5 points, but of course he is not, however, the reject of the day. And well, I need to announce my driver of the day, and that's Lewis Hamilton for his perseverance under pressure. Lance Stroll will not get any points classified for his performance today. I can't. He suffered an engine failure. That wasn't his fault. And when it all happened, well, he was just unlucky, really. I don't really know what he was doing because, to be honest, there was so much going on. I don't have a clue. Reject of the day, though, it has to be Sebastian Vettel, the local hero who was in prime position to win the race. Yes, I know his tyres were cooked and he was shredding away, but my goodness me, for a man of his experience, he doesn't need to be going out there making mistakes like that. Jesus Christ. Hamilton has got to be the favourite for the championship now. He has to be the favourite. And yes, I know Ferrari's strategy didn't do Vettel any favours by the fact that by having Kimi pit so early, and then of course Sebastian Vettel emerging behind Kimi was really stupid, but still, Vettel should have had a lot more composure the way he went around it, about it, you know, begging the team to get Kimi out of the way, and it was the team were like, Kimi, can you just sort of do this? But when we don't want to get flack anymore because, you know, we know that we have a reputation for team orders and people don't like us for doing it. So, yeah, can you sort of try and get the hint, Kimi? Well, yeah, Kimi doesn't like it when you give the hint. You've got to tell him fully. He's not just going to jump out of the way like a gimp. And, of course, Sorokin and Ricciardo, who both also retired with engine failures, not going to classify them. It's too harsh, really. I mean, we've seen some amazing performances, but yeah, we've seen some downright awful performances. And Stroll, Sorokin and Ricciardo did nothing wrong. So, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe to Crystal Racing. I'll see you again next time.